You know how I told you I've been keeping track of my sales and how I have been progressively incrementing and how I made 10 sales on my first month and then it went up to 12 and we stopped right there because the third month was still happening. Well, I'm happy to report that I absolutely destroyed my own record and I finished April with 19 sales. Let me repeat that for the people in the back. I finished April with 19 sales. Now, don't ask me how I did it because I will tell you anyways. So let's go.
Okay, let's go.
You want to say hi to YouTube? Yeah, that's her way of saying maybe. Maybe. Hi, Mai. Look at the little top of her head. She's a little shy. All right. The first thing that I want to tell you is that it's not strategy. I know. It's not strategy. The most important thing to know when you do this kind of massive month where you just break the records, it's like I just have this thought. I just assume that I'm having a great month this month. I assume that everything's going to work out, and I assume that everybody that I talk to is ready for the sale. And that's how I got 19 sales. It just was a buildup. Also, the people I talked to had like multiple items. Remember, we've talked about this before, that it not necessarily is going to be 19 people, but it is going to be 19 items. One person may have had 5 items, which it happened. Yeah, I had one person who had 5 items, like 4 cars and a home. So that those kinds of clients really help build up the commission as it goes, as the month progresses. Another thing, mindset is very, very important. Okay. If anything you get from my episodes is you'll know that I always talk about mindset first and strategy second. So on top of that, I am using the law of assumption, and I assume that everything's going to work out for me, that I have all these customers, that they're ready to buy, and so on and so forth. The second thing is always stay positive. If you have like negative Nancy's around you, block them out. Just block them out, girl, because they can ruin a vibe like that. Okay? And if someone is being a negative Nancy, it's just because they see you doing well and then they want it for themselves. And you know what? I always say this, okay? If this is you and I hate to use this word, but it's coming out. You know that I always tell you the truth. If you have a feeling of envy, because envy is a feeling, feelings come and they go. They're not permanent. A feeling of envy, I always preach about using the negative thoughts or emotions in your favor. If you feel envy because you want what that person has, work harder, do better, study more, work on your skill, work on your strategy, work on your attitude to get what they have or even surpass them. Okay? That's a little side note that I always tell myself because, of course, I'm human. I feel those things too. Like, I want to be top dog. That's how I got 19 sales, because I wanted to be the top dog, and I wanted to beat the top girl. I did. I was like, she's the best in the company. She always is first every month. I want to beat her. And I did in April. I beat her. But that kind of goal is, it's ephemeral. You need to always try and beat yourself. If you did 10 sales in February like I did, I want to beat February. I want to beat February, and March is going to be even bigger than February. I don't put a number on it in my mentality. I just say I want more. I want more, and I want more. So in March, it went up to 12. In April, I just destroyed it. And it was 19. And I remember talking to one of my coworkers that said, April may be a slow month because it's tax season, and also it's there's spring break, and there may be a low volume of sales. And I remember that conversation. I was thinking, you know what? I don't care. This is a third mental strategy, people. My third mental strategy, I don't give a flying F of what's going on in this month. I don't care what's going on in the month. I don't care if there's activities. I don't care if people are broke because they're waiting for their taxes. I don't care whatever's going on. I don't care. I always assume everything's going to work out for me. I always assume my customers are loyal to me and they're always going to close for me. And that's it. I do not care what all else is going on in the world. It doesn't have anything to do with me. All I can control is me, myself, and I. And we are going to get the best commission. We are going to get the best customers and the most items. And we're going to crush it every single month. That's the kind of mentality you have to have. So it's not about strategy. Remember, mindset first, strategy second. So it's not about strategy in the beginning. Now, you know that I am a little obsessive. And remember what I said in the beginning of the episode of using negative thoughts and emotions for your benefit. This is where it gets interesting. You see, I'm a very obsessive person. Once I get my mind on something, or I'm very stubborn at these like negative adjectives. So you have obsessive, you have stubborn, and you have a little bit pushy. So those are all negative adjectives, right? But it is the best compliment that I can get as a salesperson. I had one of my customers say, listen, you know what? I really appreciate you. You know why I ended up signing with you is because you were very insistent. Because you were very insistent. And I was like, I don't know if that was a just jab or like, what was that? And honestly, it's just how you take it. Okay, he said I was very insistive because I was always calling him every freaking day. And I got his business because I pay attention, and also because I'm very pushy. Those adjectives: pushy, obsessive, and stubborn, very stubborn. I don't give up. I don't care. You have to tell me, don't call me anymore for me to stop calling, because I do not care. The worst thing you can do to somebody that you're calling is interrupting their day for like a second. And they always have control. They can go click, goodbye. You just got to push out these thoughts of like you're bothering people. You're bothering them. The reason why insurance exists is for the what ifs of the world. Have you seen those Allstate commercials where it's like the guy in the suit and he says, hi, I am the tragedy of the worst day of your life that has caused you all this damage, and get insurance so you can be protected from mayhem like me. That is literally what insurance is for the worst day of your life, for the what ifs of the world, the never guaranteed but might happen one day, we hope that it doesn't kind of thing. So if you're calling them to help them save money and something that they already need, don't you think you're helping them? It's like I said in my previous episodes, this is the kind of mentality you need to have. It's a service mentality. It's a service. I'm helping them. I swear that was that a rooster? Bro, that was a rooster. Welcome to Texas. Where was I? So it's like it's a service mentality. I'm here to help them save money and the thing that they need for the what ifs of the world. Okay? That is the basics of insurance. If you think, I hate to bother them. If you're bothering them, they will tell you. They will say, get me off your list. Don't talk to me. I don't know why you're calling me. People be rude, man. You gotta have a thick skin. So we have already established that you need to have an assumption mentality. I assume everything goes well for me. You have to have a positive mentality. Don't let those negative Nancys get up all in your vibe and block them out. And I don't care mentality. I don't care what's happening externally. I don't care what's happening in the month. It has nothing to do with me. And I always succeed because, again, number one, law of assumption, I assume everything goes well for me. So if everything goes well for me, why should I care what's going on in the world? You don't care. Forget it. Don't give no fluff. So those are the three main things that I do mentally to attract and to gain more sales. Now let's go into strategy. So in terms of strategy, it's a numbers game. But it also has to do with quality. Because, for example, in March, I had way more leads assigned to me. So many, I could not keep up with them. And I had a conversation with my supervisor. Lo and behold, they took a lot of leads away from me. And they told me, there's a possibility that your sales may go down. And I said, okay, bet. Oh, and then I made even more sales than anybody else. I did 19 in that same month that they took away my leads. So the point is, it's not really has to do with the more leads you are assigned, the higher the probability that you're going to sell. It has nothing to do with that, because if you have a cluster of numbers and they're good quality and you have the talent to convert them, you don't necessarily need to have like thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of leads. Like I had like an astronomical amount of leads. I would go into the office every day having 400 calls. It was too much. I couldn't get to all of them. So once that number was reduced into a manageable amount for me, I could dedicate my time for my customers, and I killed it. So I want the same for you, okay? Don't think that this is like, I need more leads, because the more leads I get, then I'm going to sell more. I'm going to get more sales. This is false, okay? And it also reeks of desperation. And desperation, PU, it detracts the attraction, okay? So we're going to stay away from that, and we're going to focus. I want you to be just obsessed with your sound, your tone, and the way you speak, okay? This is where strategy comes in. So I am very mindful of my tone. The way that I speak to my customers, my vibe, me, is I speak to them like I speak to you. Like I am your bestie insurance geek that knows how to help you save money and be safe and be covered. So that is my vibe. Now, other people have different vibes. They have the advisor, they have the proper, they have the in-your-face kind of pushiness. I choose to be girl next door, best friend, insurance geek. And I get in the door because I want them to trust me, and I don't want to have that tone of desperation in my voice, because then I'm making my problem their problem. And that is one thing I will never do, because I detest, with a capital D, that people bring in their exterior problems into my world. I absolutely hate that, with a capital H. So if I don't like it, I will not do it to another person. So if I'm zero right now with sales, I'm not going to be so desperate that I need you to sign this insurance policy right now, sir, because my life depends on it. No. Keep it chill. Calm down. I want you to be obsessed with your tone. And the best way to do that is to record your calls every time and then listen to how am I sounding here? Do I like that way I talk to that person? Do I like my tone here? Maybe I should adjust it. Maybe I should adjust the way I say things, because words without sound, without intention, without tone are just words. I can say the same thing and sound completely different. Okay. If you guys want me to go more into the finesse of tonality and the way of how I say my words, I could really go into it and study it and give you a video about it. Of course, you guys know what you have to do. You got to comment and let me know. That is strategy number 1. Be obsessed with your tone. Okay? Number 2, track everything. Track everything. I am obsessed. I track everything. What do I mean by that? So every call that comes in, on top of that, I make, like, my notes are extensive. I am very particular with my notes with customers, because you want to cover your behind. You want to make sure that you're covered and you're safe and everything is documented for any reason, plethora of reasons. I'm not gonna go into that, but I also write it on my notepads. Like I write it down. Like, I talked to this person, they needed this. What I do, I also keep account of how many quotes I did in a day. I keep account, and then I do a tally of how many quotes did it take me to get to a sale. Or if the quote that I did on, let's say, April 6th converted on April 20th, something like that. So I will keep a tally of how many quotes I did a day, and then which of those quotes converted into a sale and when. Very, very particular. I can tell you that I dissected this. Okay? It's not a fluke. It's precision, and it's paying attention. Okay? Because I had someone tell me in my, like, one thing I don't like is when you're doing a good job and people jab at you. Like, that's just it's so grimy. And I had someone say, oh, it's a fluke that you had 19 sales on it. It's a fluke. It's not a fluke, Jessica. Okay? Stop being such a grimy person and focus on your own skills. Okay? It's more like it was a steady growth because I be tracking it, and I am obsessed with my skills, and I'm obsessed with honing myself, my skills, and obsessed with this job, and obsessed on how I can do better. And when you are obsessive, stubborn, and pushy, this is the result. Okay? So don't let anybody, speak down on you or put you down because you're doing your job and you're doing it excellently. Okay? Just listen to my advice and block out the negative Nancys. Okay? Block them out. So back to my tracking. So what did I do? So I tracked all of that. And then once the month finished, I checked. I have 2 books. I have one book where I write everything, and then I have a commission log tracker. Yes, I do. Yes, I have a log tracker. And out of all my 19 commissions, and then I checked because someone said, okay, again with you, Jessica, someone said that the only reason I was getting sales was because I speak Spanish, and most of my customers were Spanish speakers. Well, guess what? Your girl is crazy, and I tracked everything. Okay? Negative adjectives using it in a positive way. I'm going to go ahead and patent that. I did in total for April 70 quotes, and a total of, I want to say, 1,500 calls. And out of those 70 quotes, I had 19 item sales. Out of those 19 item sales, it was a 0.2% Spanish speakers. And it was a 97% English speakers. Don't come at me, Jessica. I got the numbers. And once you calculate 70 quotes times the 19 item sale, it was around a 30% conversion rate. Can you say that again? A 30% conversion rate? Yes, math is your friend. And me, I had a C average in math. But guess what? It starts to get real sexy when you start talking about money. Don't let anybody tell you different. Okay? You focus on your grind, you focus on yourself, focus on your skills, and track everything. So recapping, we have 3 mindset hacks, which are positivity, law of assumption, and I don't care vibe. IDC. Then the strategy that we have, be obsessive with your tone, with your sound and your skill. 2, track everything. Track everything, study everything, and tweak every time. And then you're going to become dangerous. And that's all that I have for you guys today. If you like this content and you've liked my videos, go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe, share this video to anybody who needs it, and don't forget to follow She Is a Beast wherever you listen to podcasts. And one more thing before you go, I have a question. Okay. I would like to do a Q&A for you. Now, what I want to do is do some sort of survey monkey or something like that where you guys can leave me your questions and I can go ahead and do a Q&A. I want to do a Q&A like Ask Me Anything show once a month. I'm going to try and do that. And you'll leave me all of your questions there and I'll answer them on one episode just in case anybody else have the same question that you do, that they will have that they will be served in that way as well. So that way I can answer any questions you may have. Of course, always comment because I read every comment and I reply to every comment. So I want to thank you so much. I want to thank all of my subscribers. I want to thank all of you who comment. I read every single one. I heart every single one and I reply to every single one, okay? And excuse me if I'm delayed. It takes me a little bit. So I apologize in advance and I thank you from the bottom of my heart and thank you so much for your support. All right? I will catch you in the next one. Thank you so much. Love you. Bye.